Coming up on this edition of SWTV News. As students complete another school year and look forward to the start of summer holidays, Ashley Park School will follow the trend of a coal omen school and close its doors at the end of June. Swift Current City Council has approved a deal with the Holy Trinity School Division, where the city will acquire the former St. Pat's and St. Joe's school sites for a mere price of $1 each. As most 8-year-olds are out playing with friends and engrossed in their daily routine, Robbie Macartney is busy designing his one-of-a-kind T-shirts. The 77th Annual Frontier Days exhibition drew in crowds from across the Southwest.
Thanks for joining us here today. Well, as another school year draws to a close, Ashley Park School in Swift Current will be closing its doors for good. We have more in today's top story.
As students complete another school year and look forward to the start of summer holidays, Ashley Park School will follow the trend of a coal omen school and close its doors at the end of June. To mark the 68-year history of Ashley Park School in Swift Current, a special celebration was recently held, bringing together students, staff, and former alumni. The afternoon celebration included carnival-style games, entertainment, and guest speakers. Swift Current Mayor Jared Schaefer is a former student of Ashley Park School and shared these memories with the crowd.
Certainly tugs at the heartstrings that it's closing its doors, but as everybody alluded to, Ashley Park was all about the students and staff that works here, and everybody, including the staff or the kids that did a great job today, will have those memories too.
Ashley Park School also brings fond memories for former principal Kathy Robson, who is now the curriculum coordinator for the Chinook School Division across southwest Saskatchewan.
There was just an outpouring of support. There were lots of parents that always came in. Everybody just rallied around. And I think the fact that Ashley Park was situated right in a neighborhood, you always had that community feel. A lot of people walked here, and any of the events that we had were just so supported. So the larger community, and then I guess also the community within Ashley Park of the teachers and the students and the staff that helped make that community.
And as the students of Ashley Park School make the transition in September to O.M. Irwin School, they'll already be familiar with the new surroundings, as both schools have worked together over the past number of months.
So our students have been over numerous times for tours, for concerts, special presentations, and then a lot of the Irwin students came to help today just to kind of develop a connection and a relationship, and it's been awesome. The kids are feeling really excited now. They've got to see their classrooms, and it helps because all of their teachers are going with them, so there's a comfort level there.
Approximately 400 students from kindergarten through grade 8 will now be amalgamated into the O.M. Irwin School in Swift Current, coinciding with the Chinook School Division's restructuring process over the past year. Imagine a destination where you can enjoy world-class dining and unique accommodations. Take a leisurely stroll through streets filled with rich history while browsing for that perfect gift. Buy fresh produce from the farmers market and enjoy a range of cultural events while stepping back in time to learn more about Canada's Old West. Your summer destination is awaiting you in Maple Creek. For event listings and all things Maple Creek, visit our website.
The future is here. Saskatchewan's fastest internet with unlimited usage and blazing speeds. Infinite. Watch for it in your neighborhood, only from SaskTel.
The City of Swift Current has struck a deal with the Holy Trinity School Division. We have all the details in this report.
Swift Current City Council has approved a deal with the Holy Trinity School Division, where the city will acquire the former St. Pat's and St. Joe's school sites for a mere price of $1 each. The deal follows the closure of both schools last year and the opening of the new All Saints Catholic School in the city's north end. With the agreement now signed, plans are to demolish St. Joe's School with the intent to seek development partners for the site. And any profits from future developments will be shared equally between the Holy Trinity School Division and the City of Swift Current. Meanwhile, a study will be undertaken on the St. Pat's School site to investigate what possible scenarios could be undertaken. as this building has had numerous upgrades over the years, with a special deal worked out on this site with the Holy Trinity School Division.
At a future date, if another separate school was needed in the community, that we would provide in kind the same amount of land as was given to us on the St. Pat's site.
And the adjacent playground and green space to the former St. Pat's School will also be used to benefit area residents.
There isn't very much green space in the northwest section of the city, and this would allow for some. As well, the city lost a full-size soccer field with the redevelopment of Irwin School and the new bus loop, and based on current usage by minor sports organizations in the city, that we need to replace that field, and this site would lend itself to providing the soccer field that we lost.
Along with a study on the old St. Pat's School site, Marcus indicates that public meetings will be held to discuss the future possibilities of both school sites.
In our development bylaw, we have a requirement under the infill guidelines that any site that's redeveloped can only move so after public consultation. It takes place through open houses, public forums, and discussion with the adjacent neighbors.
Demolition on the former St. Joe's School building is expected to occur in the coming months to set the course for attracting future project developers. Another exciting season of Market Square returns to downtown Swift Current, featuring live entertainment, fresh garden produce, crafts, and other unique vendors. Market Square, every Saturday at the corner of Central and Chaplin. Proudly presented by the City of Swift Current and Standard Motors, along with Innovation Credit Union and SWTV News.
SWTV News is pleased to partner with the Swift Current Salvation Army, JayDee AgTech, and Pharmasave in our ongoing series called Give for Good. In today's episode, we profile a Swift Current youth who's giving back through his artistic talents.
I really do hope that as people are watching this video series and hearing other people's stories, they really will observe what's going on in their own lives, see how they are giving for good, look for further opportunities to give for good, and that they will experience all the joys that come from that.
I think that sometimes we get too settled in our own space, and if we're doing well in life, financially or whatever, we get very settled in that. So I think it's nice to be able to go out there and put yourself out there and help others.
When you get someone who real feels emotional over you doing your kindness or doing your act, it really feels good.
As most 8-year-olds are out playing with friends and engrossed in their daily routine, Robbie Macartney is busy designing his one-of-a-kind t-shirts. A talented young artist who's using his creative skills to bring more joy to the world. An knack for drawing, which started at a young age, long before he could verbally communicate.
Really, he was late to talk. So he was drawing like from the age of 1 or even earlier. Like first thing right off the hop, a pen, markers. And so he'd draw. He'd tell stories through his drawings. And he really did that, I think, because of his communication challenges. So he'd draw very complex drawings of various, characters, people, goings-on, and lots of detail, like all in story form.
Drawings which now cover the walls of their home and are carefully collected in a series of binders, from age 1 to present day. A process of creating these unique characters and storylines, which Robbie explains in more detail.
Usually I do the eyes, then I do the mouth, then I do the head, and then I look at a hairstyle that might fit the head, and because all the heads are different shaped. and then I do like body, and it depends on the facial expression of what the body should look like, because if he's just regular and not happy or sad or mad, what I would usually do is draw him slouching if he was excited or mad.
And through his passion for drawing, a business opportunity has developed for this 8-year-old with a line of T-shirts, which all began one rainy afternoon when Robbie's mom came home with a craft to occupy his time.
Mom got these blank T-shirts and she got tie-dye, but instead of me using the tie-dye, it was drawing my regular drawings. And then my mom said, "This is great." And then one day I went to the Lyric Theater, and I said at the end of it, and I'm selling T-shirts at the back, and my mom didn't know that, and so then she was like, "What?"
What started as a mere hobby and a few dozen T-shirts has now spiraled into cases, and the Saskatchewan Abilities Council screen printing the mass orders. And coinciding with the popularity of Robbie's T-shirts and his love for drawing and telling stories is the desire to give something back to those in need. As Robbie sees it, children helping children, with a portion of the T-shirt proceeds donated to the Salvation Army.
They feed people. They give boys and girls who don't have them in Saskatchewan food and toys and stuff. And that's why every year, Mom and I and Cash, what we do is we pick out some of the toys we're done with and we give them to the Salvation Army. Because some of the toys I don't play with at all, and then they're kind of just sitting around. And I think a little girl that doesn't have anything would sure appreciate it more than me. There was a dog named Smitty.
Robbie has also taken his love for drawing and telling stories to the youth group sessions at the Swift Current Salvation Army, sharing his art and encouraging others with their creations on paper. And as Robbie shares his stories and tries to bring a smile to another's face, this proud mom can't help but be inspired by her son's message.
Like for me, now I'm a grown-up, right? So I'm thinking of things in big, complicated programs and world problems, and how are we going to solve this, and we need a think tank, and we need the world's experts on it. But really, Robbie reminds me that it may not be that complicated. It really is about sharing happiness, and it can be the smallest seed of happiness that can change somebody's life.
And along with his desire to help other children is Robbie's hope to one day appear on the Ellen DeGeneres Show.
It's only one reason, because I want my T-shirts to be more popular. And maybe if the T-shirts get more popular, I can donate more to the Salvation Army.
Robbie Macartney, an inspiration to all ages, giving for good, one smile and one T-shirt at a time.
For a dog, you would...
The annual Frontier Days exhibition was another crowd pleaser in Swift Current. We bring you all the highlights in this report.
The 77th annual Frontier Days exhibition drew in crowds from across the Southwest. The 4-day event had a number of activities for all ages, from the midway filled with games and thrilling rides, exhibits, to livestock shows and an array of other activities. The Canine Stars were a new attraction to Frontier Days this year, as this group of rescue dogs showed off their skills to the crowd through agility, frisbee, fly ball, and dog diving. A high-energy show which travels the circuit across North America year-round with 5 trainers and 20 dogs. A show which these dogs and their trainers are happy to be a part of.
It's playtime for me and playtime for him. It gives you a little bit out of the stress of every day working, paying bills and everything else. And you also give an example to other people that what stuff you can do with your dogs.
Another exciting event which drew crowds to the grandstand were the Knights of Valor, who brought medieval jousting to Swift Current. Dressed up in full armor, these competitors took to the ring for the evening competition.
What you're going to see is a series of games on horseback, which warms us up, warms up our horses, gives us a little practice. And then you're going to see a full-out, full-contact, hard-hitting, medieval-style joust.
As one of the senior knights with the group, Toby has over 15 years of experience in jousting and says he still looks forward to each bout, despite the odd injury along the way.
Getting to travel to exotic places like Swift Current, Saskatchewan, and you know, just all over North America, and you know, the competition of it, really.
In addition to the many attractions at the exhibition grounds, crowds gathered for the all-time favorite, the Frontier Days Parade. Over 100 floats from across southwest Saskatchewan and southern Alberta took to the streets of Swift Current, bringing a smile to the crowd. The annual Frontier Days Parade was a special day for one SWTV News fan, as John Penny of Swift Current and his grandson Everett rode along in the SWTV News cruiser for a fun-filled morning, greeting people along the parade route. A part of the Frontier Days tradition which John and his grandson were looking forward to.
Everett, have you ever been in a parade?
No.
Are you pretty excited about being in the car?
Yeah.
And the parade is awesome. I know the kids get a tremendous charge out of it. You can always see how excited they are. And the machinery, the row, and the different cars and vehicles they have in there, some of the old stuff, the hot rods, and just a lot of stuff in general.
The annual Frontier Days exhibition is a summer tradition, bringing in visitors to Swift Current during the last weekend of June.
The future is here. Saskatchewan's fastest internet with unlimited usage and blazing speeds. Infinite. Watch for it in your neighborhood, only from SaskTel.
Well, this brings to a close another episode of SWTV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.